Alright guys, welcome to episode number 5 of the Q&A. It's been a minute since I last uploaded, but I'm going to read questions from the Q&A and a little bit from the most recent past video that I uploaded and sent off to all the different forums, and it really got awesome feedback in there, so I'm going to read a couple comments from there. Alright, let's get started into the Q&A episode 4 that was titled Sliders equals fundamental in tactics priority. Basically we're talking about just about how sliders are and how it's achieving fundamentals first, and then tactics not being the number one priority until you get to step 1, which is getting the fundamentals right. So most recently 2 days ago, Watts, awesome guy here, looks like he's found a solution in the cl.ini file that's PC talk for FIFA 16 for the PC, of course, where you can modify. Looks like he's found a way to lower the acceleration value but also keep the stamina, so that's interesting. Working with 6 minutes per half. Okay, very cool, man. Of course I liked that, and I'll definitely check that out. I've been trying to edit sliders from a global point of view on both platforms, not just PC, because I know there's a big following, especially at Operation Sports, where the majority of testing is done. Those aren't just PC users, so I really haven't touched PC config files as much as I used to. If you guys watched my FIFA 14 Fleetwood Town from back in the day, I used to use a lot of PC config files all over the place. So Watts, I really appreciate that. Chris Lupich, right? Great videos and sliders. You saved FIFA 16 for me. Can you please supply me with the best tactics setup? Keep up the great videos. Thank you. I appreciate that. I said, Chris, basic tactics are a tough call because in FIFA, those custom team tactics just aren't as efficient as they should be, which is really unfortunate. But when it does become more of a priority for EA, make sure to check out Krebstar from Operation Sports. That guy comes out with specific tactics and modifies it really nicely to what we need to do to make the game a lot better, as long as the tactics work. If they don't work, then that's a problem, and that's kind of how it's been the last couple of years, unfortunately. In regards to your second question, should FIFA 17 have difficulty levels? Or it wasn't a question, it's more of a statement. They should not have difficulty levels. They should just have only going on team strength. While I agree that's a perfect world scenario that they would do that, I think we've all been conditioned long enough, especially in FIFA and PES, and really all video games, that there's always a difficulty level, a boss level, a mediocre level, etc. like that. So I think it's just a conditioning at this point where we're all pretty much used to that, of what's going to happen. So it's kind of a tough one to go away from. I would agree in terms of what we would get from a true to rating standpoint, but even that can be screwed up once in a while. So yeah, I like the aspect. I think you're definitely thinking outside the box, which is always appreciated on this channel. But that would be a tough sell, especially for the developers and how they would go about that, though. I like what you're thinking, though. Raja Rajput said, bro, are you gonna do FIFA 17 sliders? If the game's good enough out of the box, that'd be great. But we saw some 2v2 match today, and that was a little rough to watch. Some of it was really good, has a good fundamentals, but it's somewhere where we can start, that's for sure. KO, now I have good Madden sliders and FIFA sliders. Amen. Okay, cool, I can call you KO. I like that. Yes, again, Madden sliders, Josh C, 1977. The guy puts in so much work into his sliders, and he really is wide open and knowledge of what he's looking for and everything. He's also going to help out with FIFA if we require it for 17 for sliders and everything. So yeah, definitely. Amir, again, great video as always. EA's failings to implement proper custom tactics. Yeah, I can tell your frustration started to grow as with every comment in terms of just FIFA and EA in general, of those custom team tactics not working. That's been really tough. I think where PES does it pretty well, they make it almost too absolute, whereas in FIFA it's not strong enough, or strong at all. So yeah, I agree with you there. Luke Mason, thanks for the answer in regards to the scripting. One day they may eradicate it, but doubt they ever will. Have you any idea who you use for FIFA 17 career mode? My first one last time was Wolverhampton Wanderers. Really enjoyed that one. I usually get bored after a season or two, so hopefully 17 can offer some longevity. You know, it's a toss-up. I love to go my manager mode route of, you know, just not being completely set on one team for the entire career. Because when I get sliders going, or you know, we need them, you know, I usually have difficulty. I play full manual, you know, and usually make it as realistic as we can, right, to what's going to make it challenging and realistically challenging. So been sacked by a couple clubs, and I don't know if that trend will continue. Yeah, so you know, watch the most recent episode of QPR that was live streamed on Sunday to see how that unfolded and everything. So FBC gaming videos, Mr. Steve here, another solid video, great work. Thanks for letting me use the format on my channel. Fantastic way to get to interact and get real feedback from subscribers. Absolutely. I'm glad you decided to do that method as well. I think it's great to talk to our subscribers. You know, not just subscribers, but you know, just individuals that are sharing the football mind or the realism sports mind. You know, I don't really ever think of people as just like subs. You know, because there was a time in which my channel was up to almost 2,000. Just a couple of months ago, but there's so many dead accounts that it went back down to 13 or went down to 1,100 or something like that, which I didn't care because it meant that it filtered out the, you know, the subscribers or the individuals that were serious and still active in the channel. And it gave me a more clear picture of, you know, that this was still something good. This was still something to work on with my channel, to just really just continue to have an area to just post videos of things I'm thinking about out loud. And that's really the point of it, you know, and it's a lot of the things, and you know, that are things that people haven't thought about before, I guess. You know, you can see the PES 2017 video where some of the things I addressed were definitely things that people hadn't thought about before. And so hopefully that education, I guess, you know, I hope that education helped out in whatever way it could. So thank you, Steve. I really appreciate your comment. Dylan Potter, great video. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Sepak Bola by Como Pes. Sepak Bola, have you lived in Indonesia before? Because you don't look Indonesian. I'm from Indonesia, by the way. Yeah, of course. I'm born and raised in Indonesia. Semarang is where I was born. I lived there for roughly 10 years, and I've been all over the world. I moved here to the United States in 1999, and I've stayed here. From somebody who's moved around all over the world, to stay put is a very good thing. It means I could, you know, build friends, family. I've got 2 kids, my wife. So, yeah, Indonesia, apa kabar? So, we just celebrated the Indonesian Merdeka. That was just, I know it's not officially a date because today, well, it's actually going to be on the day of this upload. Right now it's the 16th, but we celebrated this past Sunday, had everything we could from rendang, guduk, you know, all the good stuff, mie ayam, and everything from there. So, yeah, Como, great to see you. Thank you. Terima kasih. Chalu, I was so frustrated when the aggressive interceptions left the game. Completely killed the game in the midfield from the gap between the defensive line up to before the final third of the pitch. Yes, Chalu, so true. It's so frustrating when you see the marketing was all about these interceptions, and how they were going to step up into position and read the play, and it was all about the defense, right? And then you knew, and I think we all knew this, is like, this isn't going to stick. This is not going to be the way EA is going to market anything, because defense is boring. It always has been for people. Me personally, and I think 1,300 of the other guys on this channel feel the same way, that it's not boring, and it's actually essential to get a proper football match working. That's why you see when I'm doing these PES Global edits and these FIFA sliders, all of it is about defensive positioning. I even tweeted Adam Bati, you know, he doesn't listen to me. I tweeted him and I said, you know, defensive positioning is what's really going to make the game come together. If you stop making them freak out, they will come together, and you'll still get a fantastic match. And from there, you can edit all the other values to make it, you know, wide open. You know, in EA and FIFA, you can increase the run frequency as long as you have the defensive positioning sound. You know, so I completely agree with you. That midfield on default PES 2016, for example, is just bypassed like crazy, and FIFA is the same exact way, just bypassed. And so the idea was really just to build those banks up. And the most recent sliders I'm going to send out or post for FIFA 16 are going to be up here soon. I'm going to get those going. I played them in the live stream, and it played great and maintained everything I was looking for. So I think that'll be like the final knock on wood set for FIFA 16, and then let's send this thing off. You know, good riddance. Let's go into FIFA 17, right? Okay, so the next video we're gonna have some comments on is from the PES 2017 video, hashtag cautiously optimistic. It's a video analysis and breakdown of a match between Germany and France, player 1 versus CPU on Superstar. And so, you know, I basically like I said, I took my time. I watched all the videos that were published for PES 2017. I basically just gave my thoughts. If you guys haven't watched the video yet, please do. I'm really humbled by how great the comments were in there, and not just the feedback on YouTube, but also the feedback in the forums from EvoWeb, Next Gen Gaming Blog. I've started to post on there. Really solid group of old school PES guys. Really solid. Really enjoying my time there. And then EvoWeb, and then Operation Sports. The fact is, it's got 55 likes and no dislikes. Nobody just, you know, I know somebody's going to do it now, but I think that's awesome. That shows that gives me confidence that hear me blabbering on is actually coherent and actually appreciated. So right back at you guys for watching that. Really, thank you so much. I'm just going to scroll down through a couple of these comments, not all of them, because there's quite a lot. So I'm just going to go through the top comments and just go through some familiar faces and some new faces. So Devin, Mendenhall, D-Mend, this is a guy I want you guys to keep paying attention to, who I will reference to as we get into PES 2017, because I know he'll be with me as we try to break down this game and see where it is we can improve it. Because D-Mend here, he spent a lot of time on PES 16 to what he could do with the tactics, because he couldn't do global editing. He's not on the PC, and by then in January that the editor came out. I wish I had known about then, because I'd be spending a lot more time, but now we're still in good shape. But he is a guy who will work on the tactics and did everything he could. You check out his channel, check out his videos. Definitely check those out, because the guy really knows what he's looking for, and we're on the same page. And I think he is essential for PES 17's development of what we can control as a community, and what he's looking for. So you know, and he makes a great comment here. The analysis I did was great. The same channel, which was the NGB, Next Gen Gaming Blog. Hopefully the shooting is improved, though, as it looks a little easy in the video. But the new build that he heard was going to be even more loose and free than this one. So who knows how true that is. I hope it is true, too, because some of those shots, some of those misses, I'm still seeing like these slight misses, you know. They're not missing the target completely. I don't see any scuffed shots yet, you know. I'm still cautiously optimistic, you know, because we're so close now to seeing a demo, and then also seeing the full game here in the US. We're gonna get it on the 13th, so that'll be right away. So yeah, thanks D-Man, really props to him. Zidane, Al-Zaidan, I hope I said that right. I apologize if I didn't. You're a good man. Too bad Konami are buying off the so-called reviewers. This is an iPad game, and the Konami PR guys are lying crooks. You know, I would say that their PR really likes to bring in buzzwords that are going to resonate with some of us old school PES players. You know, you think about it from a marketing standpoint. Right now, we're, you know, the golden age used to be the 60s, 70s guys that were born in that time frame. Now we're in the 80s. Now we're back to, you know, 80s TV show remakes. Now we're back to cereals that we used to eat when we were, you know, in the 80s to 90s. You know, and now PES is starting to come back. Konami's first introduction of soccer. You know, and people's knowing that at that age we were, you know, teenagers. We were playing this game. We were in college. You know, we were in university, and so now they're branching into the thought of what's appealing to us. And so these buzzwords that Bati likes to use and anybody else likes to focus on, and these Konami reviewers, the guys invited, some of them are really hardcore, a part of that group. So the way it's set up is they're the intended demographic from Konami's point of view, but they're also going to be the hardest critics. And I think that's where it's at right now, where those critics, they can't sacrifice their position by really telling the truth and how it is. That's my personal opinion. I don't think they talked about a lot of things that I talked about in this video, and it's keeping it real, really. And it's not a buzzword of any kind. It's mainly just to address the fact that, you know, let's be real. Some of this animation looks just messed up. Some of this freak out defensive overaggression alone would be a red flag. You've got to look at it as if a coach was watching it. If a coach saw this defensive positioning completely go from this to this, wouldn't they say something? And so that's the same thing that I would expect the hardcore PES guys to say. But I understand if you're invited into these things, you can't just be super critical with no basis. The problem is, though, you can still be critical, and there's plenty of basis there. And I feel like they kind of, you know, I don't know too many of them. I know some of them, but I also feel like they really could have stepped up and said what was on their mind, so I didn't have to. But even then, I'm just, you know, a guy who just has an opinion, but has been, you know, part of this generation of PES and International Superstar Soccer, Goal, Storm, etc., you know, group for a while now. My opinion is only as strong, you know, as the channel of what I promote, of just, you know, focusing on realism. And sometimes that's also taboo in a lot of places, to focus on realism, because then you think about the way the game is built down into a 90-minute match, and they're trying to, you know, compress that into a 6-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute match. You know, I can understand it. So it's a really tough balance. I've understood that. I have accepted that, especially as a PC player. I've accepted that there are some workarounds. The main thing is, let's just hope the community works hard to get those workarounds going, so that way we can all enjoy this game. Because if you see my PES 16 edits, you know, that's a big focus of mine as well, to get that all, you know, worked out. And I think I've achieved that so far with the help of a couple guys, with Totten 123 especially. Hussar, why we're critical of the AI? It's doing its job for the most part, and like FIFA has no AI or intelligent runs. Yeah, I can't really comment on that, Hussar. I know you've been on the channel and the live streams as well. I think we can be critical of the AI. I think we have a right to be critical of the AI, and this is why we've been there before. It's been at a top level before, and instead of building off of that, Konami went this way, right? It's because they're doing what a lot of people do. You ever heard the mantra of, you know, winners are always looking to win and losers are looking at winners? It's kind of the same thing. Like, you know, Konami's looking at not themselves long enough. They're looking at FIFA and what they're doing, and then just trying to react to it. You know, and that's exactly what you get. That's why you get some of the comparisons. That's why you get the My Clubs. That's why you get the focus on these things to just be similar. The problem is Konami or PES and FIFA are not the same game. This is why I can own both games, and I don't say I'm a PES fan, I'm a FIFA fan. You know, I'm deep down a PES fan. That's been my first love. But I'm not going to say I pick one or the other unless I'm forced to. And with PES 16, before the editor, I was forced to use FIFA, and that took up all my time. So that's exactly where where that balance comes from. So I think both games are gonna bring what they need to do for the 17 version. I really hope so, at least. I wanted to single out Book Hall's comments here, because this is really one of the best comments I've seen on any YouTube post anywhere. He says, I brought up some valuable concerns, right? The game has some potentially interesting tweaks and additions. Where is that element of breaking down a defense that has shaped itself up in a way that counters the insanely exaggerated end-to-end football, just running wide with the ball into vastly free and open space? I mean, I'll stop right there. Yes, that breakdown, having to break down a team is so much more rewarding than being able to just dribble all the way through on the sidelines and hope to get, and then just react to what the inept AI is doing, right? And it's a matter of breaking down the team and struggling, like having a chance to not even shoot because you can't get into the defensive third. That's an interesting. I'm not saying every game, but there has to be games like that or matches like that. So and then he goes on to say, where's that feeling that you spend more time thinking the game, passing the ball around, finding a solution to break them down, or that feeling of playing against a team who likes to possess the game and you have to be patient, holding your lines with a solid back four and a team which is ready to wait until the opponent makes a mistake and tries to exploit it on the break. I love this post. It's like, where is that feeling? This is why I titled this Q&A as where is that feeling, and it's a comment from Book Hall here that inspired that. I love it. It's like a lullaby, a melody of football love. Like, where's that feeling? Where's that feeling of love in the game? Where's that feeling of compressing a defensive line to break up a counterattack? Where's that feeling to be able to break down a team with crisp passing? Where's that feeling of having the ball being completely a separate entity of everything else, and making more 50-50 challenges? Where's that feeling of going hard and getting stuck into a sliding tackle, and everything from there? I love, he says at the very end here, when you can't just add advanced tactics in a stiff manner, it has to smoothly embed itself in the game. I feel the same way as you, cautiously optimistic. Make the AI more incisive with the ball. Sometimes feels like they have no clue what they're doing, and that is worrying when this is supposed to be the hardest difficulty in the game. And and I agree with that. I think that's why it's, in my opinion, one of the posts of the year, if not the best post I've seen on YouTube. So Book Hall, really congrats. That's a huge compliment to the channel, that you would post in here and that you would be so articulate and passionate about the game of football. And that's what it comes down to first. We're football fans first, we're soccer fans first, and then we're video games. And there is a very, very possible way to combine those together. And it's all about having the options to do that, and having the fundamentals to be achieved first, and then build it from there. So great post there, Book Hall. So this next comment is from the live stream that was on Sunday. First off, thanks so much, guys, for checking that out and watching it live. I think we had at the most we had 10 guys in there, which was great, because I really had some issues with the live stream. My headset broke all of a sudden, so that's why you see me up here in the mic with the Blue Yeti. The Blue Yeti is a great microphone. It struggles sometimes on these live streams because I like to make it feel like I'm in the game. I think I get the audio right, but anyway, thank you guys so much for checking that out. The next one, I'm trying to think of when I'll do that. I'll have the announcement soon. It'll probably be when I upload episode 24, which is a result of this episode 23, so you guys can see that. Charlie Petra, I don't know what you're saying. I assume it's about sliders, but I want to thank you. I'm assuming you're talking about them. I did have different sliders in this video, and I think it played great. The Vampin' Venom, it's on broadcast camera, 0 height, 20 zoom. I need to put that in the description. I think I do every time, but at least I will. I noticed, I said I was going to post on stream on Twitch. Aging Young Rebel, I called him Rebel. He was in the live stream as well. I was going to go to Twitch consistently, but the quality is just different. Man, YouTube's so good quality-wise, and it's so nice to be able to archive these, and then you guys can just watch them right away. I'm going to stick with YouTube. There are restrictions on copyright. I'll just have to be careful, you know, and not go deep into any of those. I'll just do like a Master League. Plan on doing like a YouTube Master League. So if you guys have any suggestions on who I should use, if I should use the ML, the Master League default guys, you know, the classics of Exlamez. I don't know how to say his name. Castolo. Man, there's a lot of others. It's been a while, obviously, since I've played PES. So, but that'll be one. Swags, you said you lowered your fullback positioning but didn't say to what. Can you post your latest sliders? Yes, I'm going to be posting this shortly, I promise you. I know that was a day ago. FB positioning was changed to 20. Alright guys, well that ends this episode number 5 of my Q&A. Thank you so much for the comments, for the interaction, for liking everything, for just, you know, just being you guys, being awesome. Awesome individuals, each one of you. I'm getting to know you guys so much better. I'm going to improve a couple of things on the Facebook side of things. I really haven't been active in there, getting the hang of it. I've had people message me lately if I should have my own forum. I don't think I'm there yet. I don't think it's there yet. I think there's still a lot of guys, a lot of venues such as EvoWeb, Operation Sports, Next Gen Gaming Blog. Those are some awesome sites to talk about. You got some hardcore PES fans, hardcore FIFA fans, and so those are really great spots. If you have any other recommendations where I could post, let me know. But yeah, I want to thank you guys as always. Take care. Stay tuned. The radar right there. 6 are back there. 6 players are back there for Germany when they're losing 1-0. Count that. 1, 2, 3, 4 players in the attack. Technically 2 in the box. The rest of them are all in the back.